I'm Beatrice Go and welcome to Sports Wrap. Clutch is the name of the game today as our Filipino athletes made us smile and cheer so loudly with their cardiac yet victorious performances. We have a lot to talk about today and we are welcoming a special guest later. So here are our headlines Saturday, July 31. Filipino boxer Nestie is now a win away from clinching the Philippines' second Olympic gold medal after surviving the women's featherweight semifinal. Petesio won via 4-1 split decision over Italy's Irma Testa, putting herself on the verge of history in bringing home Philippine boxing's first ever Olympic gold medal. She also has a chance to become the first ever women's featherweight Olympic gold medalist as the weight category made its debut in the Tokyo Games.
Thank you po sa lahat ng sa Senado po, sa lahat na nagdasal po sa akin. Thank you po.
Petesio won the semifinal in thrilling fashion as she sized up to the 5'8" Italian who was the European featherweight champion. The bout was brought down to the wire as both boxers won one round apiece and headed into the decider tied at 19 all. With Petesio barely leaving Testa any answers in the third round, it became an emotional win for the Filipina as she cried and fell to her knees as her name was announced. Petesio will face tough Japanese rival Sena Airi, who dealt the Filipina a stunning quarterfinal loss in the Olympic qualifiers in March 2020. They meet again to fight for the gold on Tuesday, August 3 at 12:05 p.m. Philippine time. Carlo Paalam put himself one win away from an Olympic bronze medal with a unanimous decision win in the men's flyweight round of 16. Paalam pulled off an upset over two-time Olympian Mohamed Flissi of Algeria, who made it to the quarterfinals of the 2016 Rio Olympics. This is the second time Paalam defeated a veteran Olympian as his first-round opponent, Brendan Irvine of Ireland, saw action in the London and Rio Games. The Cagayan de Oro native will face defending Olympic champion Uzbekistan's Zoirov in the quarterfinals on Tuesday, August 3 at 10:15 a.m. for a chance in the medal round. EJ Obiena opened the day's heart-stopping performances after coming through to nail a men's pole vault final berth. Obiena sent alarm bells ringing when he failed to clear 5.75 meters in the first two tries, but he came in clutch when he eclipsed the mark in the final attempt. He will now join world number 1 Armand Duplantis of Sweden, 2016 Rio Olympics gold medalist Thiago Braz of Brazil, and 2012 London winner Renaud Lavillenie of France in the final of the event that was marred by COVID-19 positive cases. The top pole vaulter of the Tokyo Olympics will be decided on Tuesday, August 3 at 6:20 p.m. Philippine time. Veteran golfer Juvik Pagunsan dropped further into the standings of the men's golf tournament, falling to joint 55th. Pagunsan fired a 5 over par 76 in the third round, tallying a total of 2 over par 215 at the end of 54 holes. American Xander Schauffele tightened his grip of the top spot with a 3 under par 68 to lead with a total of 14 under par 199. But the host country favorite Hideki Matsuyama is just a stroke behind at solo second place. Matsuyama was one of the remaining golfers who was affected by the second round suspension due to lightning risk. But the Japanese star closed out the round with a 64, then followed it up with a 67 in the third. Pagunsan will tee off in the final round on Sunday, August 1 at 6:41 a.m. Philippine time. So it was really such a great day for Filipino fans, and there is just so much to look forward to in the coming days. So let us now move on to the medal tally. China leads again with 21 golds, 12 silver, and 12 bronze, and is now at the tournament high of 45 medals. Japan hopes to catch up as the host country has 17 golds, 5 silver, and 8 bronze. USA is at third with 16 golds, 17 silver, and 12 bronze to match China's total of 45. Philippines is at 37th place and it's tied with 8 others: Bermuda, Belarus, Ecuador, Ethiopia, Greece, Iran, Latvia, and Thailand. It still counts Heidelin Diaz's one gold medal, and we're just waiting for Nessie Petesia's results on Tuesday. Now let's move on to the breakthrough stories from all over the world in the Tokyo Olympics. The US women's basketball team remained a force to be reckoned as it rallied from a first quarter deficit to defeat host Japan 86 to 69. This is the US 51st straight win in an Olympic women's basketball tournament. Aja Wilson starred again with another double-double of 20 points and 10 boards. It was a thrilling 2019 World Cup final rematch as USA denied another Olympic qualifying exit via penalty shootout with a win over the Netherlands. Going into the game, deci- Going into the game decider tied at 2-all, Alisa Nair delivered two key saves to prevail in the shootout 4-2. Megan Rapinoe buried the deciding penalty into the top corner to send the World Cup champions into the semifinals. It was a comeback day for USA Swimming as Dressel stormed to the 100-meter butterfly title with a world record time of 49.45 seconds to pick up his second individual gold of the Games. Katie Ledecky won her third straight women's 800-meter freestyle Olympic gold and became the first female swimmer to win 6 individual golds. She led the way, clocking a winning time of 8 minutes and 12.57 seconds over rising Australian star Ariarne Titmus. Simone Biles withdrew from the event finals for the vault and uneven bars at the Tokyo Olympics. Biles, who continues to wrestle with mental health issues, had earlier withdrawn from the women's all-around final on Thursday, July 29, and the team final last Tuesday, July 27, after a poor mark on her opening vault. The 24-year-old, however, might yet make an appearance at the Tokyo Games, having not ruled herself out for the floor exercise on Monday, August 2, and the beam on Tuesday, August 3. So, in celebration of Nestie's historical win today, I have a special guest joining me on Sports Wrap today, and it is none other than Ryan Sangalia, the former sports editor and boxing reporter of Raptor, and is currently a contributor at The Ring magazine. So, what's up, Ryan? Good morning!
Good morning. Buenos dias.
Wow, Ryan, like, did you even get enough sleep after that match?
No, I was wired the whole night. I was like, oh my goodness, so it was very electric performance. There's something about you can have a technical masterpiece and it's something that's to be admired. But when you see someone who is physically outgunned just will their way to victory, that just electrifies you, and that's what Nesty Potestia did last night.
Yeah, and I remember I just messaged you, Ryan, like, I need to talk to you tomorrow. And you're just like, yeah, I have so many thoughts. So why don't we get to it, right?
Yeah, no, and it's just amazing because something about this about Nesty just kind of I just felt it was her time right now, right? Because before the Olympics opened up, I'll say one thing. I underestimated Hidden Diaz. I knew she was going to do great, right? But I said beforehand that I thought Nesty would do the best of all the athletes. So I'm not surprised that she's here. I'm pleasantly surprised at Hidden Diaz's gold medal, but it is zero surprise to me that Nesty Potesio is where she is right now in the gold medal match.
Yeah, and I read your story on how you really covered her for a very long time. Like she had to battle through that phase in the 2018 Asian Games. Wow, I remember that I was there. That was really crazy. But then now that we've seen how she progressed to becoming like a 2019 world champion, a 2019 SEA Games gold medalist, and now like she's with trying to win her Tokyo 2020 Olympics gold. So like what can you, and like you were also saying something about how this is like vindication for Philippine women's boxing.
Yeah, one of the reasons, because my life is about reporting on boxing. Um, One of the things I love about boxing is that it doesn't matter if you're a world champion or anything. You are an underdog, just getting in there in that life, right? Because it's such a hard life, and you don't really choose boxing. Boxing chooses you. The circumstances in your life bring you to boxing. So when you factor in how much more women have to overcome because of, first off, you're not getting the attention from the media, or TV networks. They're not getting the big money isn't being thrown at the female boxers. Um, there's so much against them that you realize how even greater underdogs every single female boxer is. Even if you're the best female boxer of all time, you're an underdog. Women only got the opportunity to box in the Olympics beginning in 2012. So, and that wasn't the beginning of women's boxing. That was the beginning of this popularization of it. So you have these pioneers like Annie Abanya, Mitchell Martinez, Josie Gabuco, just so many great, Gretchen Abendel, so many great talents who I would have loved to have seen get this opportunity to have, shined, on the world stage like this. They're getting to live their dream through Nessie Petesio right now, and just as like how a lot of people woke up when Pacquiao became this big star, I hope to see a lot of other women who dream of being boxers in the Philippines looking to Nessie Petesio for what she will accomplish and what she has already accomplished, and say, you know what, I can do what she's doing, and she's made it possible. She's lit the way.
I know, like Josie Gabuka is also a world champion boxer. Then it just took like how many years before Nesty secured like the second world title for the Philippines in women's boxing. Like, oh, let me ask first, how long have you known Nesty and followed her story, Ryan?
Um, since I would say probably since I started at Rappler in 2014. Um, One of the things is they say if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life, right? So when I became the Rappler sports editor, I was like, what I should do is I should write about all the boxers there, so then I can have an excuse to be out of the office. So I familiarized myself a lot with the national boxers, and I had a great time covering Nesty. I remember she was always one of the top fighters at the SEA Games. The whole women's team. I mean, I was always just captivated by Gabuko, Irish Magno, that whole squad of talented fighters. And I always wondered why they weren't getting more attention. So I would try to write where I could and just sort of put context. Like, listen, she may not be a household name, but this is an incredible talent, a really tough person who has a very interesting backstory. So yeah, I've watched all these fighters. I've watched Ymir Marshall grow up. I've watched Carlo Paalam grow up. I've seen the turnover and just the passing of the torches in the national team. All these fighters, none of these fighters are overnight successes. They've been working at this for years. They're getting the attention now because the Olympics is the biggest sporting event in the world. So I'm just very excited to see what they've done throughout the years coming to fruition now.
Yeah, and actually, like you could see Nesty and like actually all the whole Philippine boxing team. Like when they entered this Olympics, I feel like this was their best form. Like they looked really good. They looked really strong. So would you say the same as well?
What I would say is this: is that this is the best Olympic boxing squad that the Philippines has sent in a long time, and they've sent numerous fighters throughout the years. I remember, I think it was 2016. They were saying that, oh, this is the lean and mean team, right? There's a very stripped down Philippine Olympic delegation. I didn't feel confident about it, even though there were, the Charles Suarez is a veteran. I felt that there were different styles that would do well, right? And I'm not knocking anyone, but I looked at this squad here, and I thought this is a squad that is ready not just to go to Tokyo and do well, but to win medals, right? So because we're not done yet, Nesty is going to win either gold or silver. I think she's the favorite to win gold, right? Um, I think that Ymir Marshall, we still have to see what he's going to do, but he's favored to win gold as well. That's a strong man who's out there hurting people, right? Carla Paalam, I want to see what he's going to do. Irish Magno, she did an excellent job getting to the second round. I think that this was a squad that came together at the right time and is primed to do some real serious stuff. And I think that I don't expect us to just bring home one medal. That's what I'm saying in boxing.
Yeah, that is so good. And you actually mentioned that like Nessie is the favorite to win the gold and she's just a win away. But then she'll be going up against like someone with home ring advantage, Senna Irie. And Senna actually is leading 2-1 to her in the record. So but then what can you say about Senna Irie's form as of now?
Um, well, she's young, and I think that's it shows a lot of poise in her that she's been able to get two victories over someone who's uh, a very accomplished and experienced fighter. The Olympics are different. The Olympics are different. It's when you get on that stage and you have the home crowd behind you, it can either do great things for you, it can motivate you, or it can put pressure on you and cause you to collapse. So we'll see. I think that Nesty has overcome two styles that were extremely difficult for her. And we're talking about in her last fight when she beat Irma Testa of Italy, who was I think the silver medalist from the European Championships, and then she beat the 2018 world champion from Chinese Taipei, who was a very tall, very well skilled boxer. She beat the number one seed. So I think the mental edge has to go to Nesty. We have to remember, there was that one fight that Nesty did beat Senna Irma. I'm sorry, beat the Japanese fighter, and that was at the World Championships in 2019. So Nesty has the experience of being her as well. So I think that if she can get good judging, because we've seen bad judging before favor hometown fighters. The most notable I would say was 1988 when Roy Jones got robbed blind against the Korean fighter in the gold medal match at the Seoul Olympics. So I think Nessie has to go out there and leave no doubt. The way that she did against Irma Testa in the third round, yeah, she evened it up in the second round, but then she went out there in the third round and just beat the girl up. So, I think that that's something that she has to do. She has to go out there and not just rest on her laurels and feel confident that she's coasting. She's got to get out early, let the Japanese fighter know that she's the boss, and not let the momentum slip away.
Yeah, that third fight, like it was like Street Fighter mode. Nesty Patasha, she just really went out there.
I was like, scorecards don't matter if you don't get to the scorecards. So I was like, when she opened up the first 10, 15 seconds, and it was just like, I was like, oh my, I tweeted it out. I said, I thought we're at the Olympics. This turned into like a Davao street fight,
Oh my goodness. But then, yeah, like we are really just so hopeful that Nessie will be able to pull it off. Like, just imagine, like, Philippines' second gold medal in the Olympics. What a dream. And we just got our first in Tokyo as well. So it's like we're owning Tokyo, hopefully, right?
Yeah, I just think that I hope that what comes out of this is we start to view the value of some of our overlooked athletes, because these are not overnight successes, and I want to see the investment into women's boxing that really, because if we're talking about we care about medals, this is an amazing, like, unmined source of medals for the country, because This is not overnight success. We're talking about Josie Gabuko had a world championship. Nessie Petesio had a world championship. Josie Gabuko's won like 100 Sea Games gold medals, and no one knows who she is. So I think that we could put the investment in not just in terms of putting on fights, hosting tournaments, but also profiling and featuring so many of these great athletes. I think that we can really inspire another generation of women's boxing, because we have some very tough, talented fighters, and if you listen to their stories, like these are not random people. These are fighters who could be, the next Nessie Petesio. We don't even know who she is yet, but there's got to be 100 of them. People who came from similar backgrounds, their fathers, their mothers got them involved in boxing as young girls, and they've been put into their head that, oh, boxing is just for boys. If you tell them no, we're gonna nurture you, we're gonna give you everything that you need to succeed at the highest level. Who knows how many more gold medals or silver medals, however, whatever color medals there are on the world stage that we can find through these fighters.
Yes. Thank you so much, Ryan, for that encouragement. Like, I hope that all these aspiring young Filipino boxers get to hear what you say, and even like all these the boxers who came before Nesty and Josie as well, that to hear such great encouragement that there is really hope for Philippine women's boxing. And thank you again for joining me in Sports Wrap today. I know that you're not a morning person, but then you still came on board just for this. Like, I'm just so grateful, Ryan, and I hope that you're doing really well all the way there, following our games with time difference.
Beatrice, I do anything for you guys. I'm very proud of the work that you're doing, the whole Rappler sports team is doing. I'm glad to see that you guys really took the ball, ran with it, and just always proud of you guys.
Aw, thank you so much. Yeah. So Yeah, so that is Ryan Songalia. Just so great to have him back on Sports Wrap. And so tomorrow, stay tuned for Raptors coverage as we continue the grind for the Tokyo 2020 Olympics. Tomorrow we are starting really early at 6:41 a.m. as our golfer Juvik Pagunsan will be playing his final round in the men's individual stroke play, and we are actually waiting for Yumir Marshall's men's middleweight quarterfinal against Arman Darchanyan at 11:36 a.m. So he's also just one win away from securing a Olympic bronze. So stay tuned for that. Continue to follow Raptor Sports. Again, this is Beatrice Go, Rappler Manila.